Hey, what is going on, guys? So today we're checking out the Mono Bike Hound, which may look like something from Machine & Krieger. That's because it's designed by the same designer, Koyama, but this is actually from Venus Wars, which is an anime you guys might be familiar with. I'm actually not, but it's a really super cool design and fun little kit. I had a lot of fun putting it together, so let's go ahead and check it out in today's review. Alright guys, starting off taking a look at the box, and then we'll get into its contents here. Some beautiful illustration work on the front featuring not only the bike there, but you also have the character. And unfortunately this version of the kit does not include a character figure. But again, just to really take in the beauty of this box art, it's so unique and different. It's very refreshing to see something as cool as that. On the side of the box here we just have a photograph of the painted kit there. On the bottom of the box there's a look at the front view and rear view of the very cleanly painted version of this. I feel like most people are probably going to want to weather it, but got some information over here about the Venus Wars story, I guess, and about the Fighting Mono Bike Hound there. That's all in Japanese. On the other side we got some detail images about like the kind of kickstand wheels there that it has, the instrument panel there on the inside, and some waterside decals that I guess we have for this, so that's pretty awesome. You can also see that the box is pretty thin, so it's not going to be a ton of stuff in here. It is 1/20 scale, so it's not going to be all that big. We'll take a look at the runners here in just a second. Here's a look at the waterside decal sheet, which looks very cool. You got a lot of really cool decals on there and a lot of different colors with the orange, red, green, white, black, and all that. For the instruction manual, you've got the box art illustration there at the top. On the back side, the color guide here for you with some reference photos there of the kit and for where all the colors and decals go on that. And the rest of this, basically all just going to be the construction of the kit, which should be, again, relatively simple, but there is a fair amount of parts here. Runner A here is going to be in that main dark green color for the body. Same thing here for runner B, and you can see some of these really nice detail parts on there. We have runners C and D also in that dark green color for some smaller parts there. Runner E here is in dark gray for the main wheel there, obviously, and then some other little bits in gray. Runner F is going to be some detailed parts here in brown. Runner G is a few more parts here in gray, and runner H is a couple of pieces here in plain clear. Alright guys, so here's the bike all built up, and one thing you may notice is that it's kind of looking like it's been already worked on and sanded a little bit, and that's because I have gone ahead and removed the seam lines on this. There's a number of seam lines. I'll go ahead and point those out to you guys, and then just done some sanding, removing some of the mold lines, things like that as well, just getting this basically ready for paint, as you can just snap build this just straight out of the box. It is a snap fit kit, but this is obviously the kit that probably if you're buying, you're more than likely going to want to paint it, so I figured I'd go ahead and get it basically up to the point where it's ready for paint, and we'll take a look at it here. So just to talk about those real quick, there's a seam going basically from the middle of the nose down to the end here, so you had to get rid of that, and what I'm probably going to have to do now is to rescribe these lines that cross over the front of the nose there, rescribe those out to just make sure that those are nice and even all the way across, and there is some of that on the bottom as well that probably still need a little bit of cleanup there. The wheel itself is two halves that had to glue that together. The bottom half as well, I'm not really too worried about this section because it's not going to be seen at all, but that seam line does continue around here to the back. Also on this can here on the back, which I believe is some kind of jerry can or battery pack, something like that, there was a seam line there. And then on these back sections here, like kind of where the wheels tuck up into, there's seam lines on those parts right there, as well as a small one here on the top of this sort of intake vent right there. I guess I don't know exactly what that is, but so anyway, as you guys can see, the little like stand wheels here can be folded up for when it's cruising along. You can just have it like so. And on that note, this wheel does turn, and as you can see, there is a flat spot for when it's parked, but if you wanted to have this like looking like it's like going up off of a bump or something, like flying through the air, if it's not on the ground anyway, then you can just turn the wheel to have it just showing the full rounded part of that. There's a little bit of a seam line right in there, like at the front of the seat below where this kind of instrument panel is, but all the details up inside there do look really nice. These bar sections here at the front and at the back, I've just gone ahead and used the plastic parts. You may want to swap those out and like use like actual some brass rods, make some of your own there. I've just gone ahead and used the plastic for now. I think it should be fine. There's also a seam on like the side of the seat there a little bit that you kind of have to get rid of that, and this little bit here at the end, I'm going to have to be very careful with that not to snap that off. It's a very delicate little piece there, as well as these parts right here up underneath the side mirrors. So there's a couple of delicate parts here and there you're just going to want to be careful with, but overall the detail on it does look really nice. I basically basically put this all together in a day. That's including all the seam line removal and everything, so it's a pretty quick kit to put together, but just has a lot of really nice detail on there. Aside from the clear piece here for the windscreen, there is another little clear piece that fits here on the front, somewhere around in here. I've not put that in yet, and I'll add that in later, but oh, and of course there's a seam line here on the gun on the top and bottom of that. That's just two halves that you put together. So yeah, there's a number of seam lines around on the kit, but they're mostly pretty easy to just get rid of those. And like I said, I put this kit together, including the seam removal, as rough as it is at the moment, put it all together just in a single day, so it's pretty easy. It is unfortunate that it did not include a pilot figure, but that's remedied with a new version of the kit. We'll talk more about that here in just a second. But I think it's an awesome little kit. I think it's going to be a really fun one. The scale, at first when I was building it, I was thinking it does seem a little bit large for 120 scale, but after putting it next to a 120 scale figure, I realized that it actually does fit the scale quite well. For a comparison here next to a couple other things also in 120 scale, I think you can see it fits quite nicely, and it also of course fits the Machining Krieger aesthetic really nicely as well. And as a quick added bonus to wrap up the video, I thought we could also take a look at the new version of this, which is just released. This is the Fighting Mono Bike Hound with heroes. So unfortunately, while the original release did not come with a pilot figure, this new release that features some beautiful new box art here on the front, another very nice painted image. This one now is the same bike, except that it comes with a pilot figure included. So taking a look quickly around the outside of the box, I mean that the bike itself is gonna all be the same, except now we have our little seated hero inside there. The waterside decal sheet is also gonna now feature a couple extra decals for that. Here's a look at the painted sample there with the pilot included inside. Contents inside the box are also going to be mostly the same as far as all the runners. That's all the same. You have the original instruction manual also included, but here's what we have new right here, as well as the waterside decal sheet, which, as I said, this is all the same. Here's the new section you have added, a couple of extra markings and eye decals there for the figure. Looks to be about 7 parts, beautifully detailed. Obviously gonna take just a little bit of cleanup on these parts, but otherwise that's gonna look really nice, very nicely detailed. And then the new instruction manual part basically just gives you a nice big reference photo there, some tips about just like how to clean up and fix your resin parts if you needed. There's a new adjusted color guide here on the back as well, which basically covers the pilot figure, all the colors, everything for him, and a small short parts list and assembly guide inside here, how to install the pilot. And that's it for this new version of the bike. So that's gonna do it for today, guys. Let me know your thoughts down in the comment section below about this awesome little kit. I think it's really cool, very fun. Looking forward to building up the other one in the future as well. But for now, thanks so much for checking out the video, guys. Hope that was helpful. If you have questions, you can leave those down in the comment section below as well. If you'd also like to like the video and or subscribe, that would be greatly appreciated. But until next time, hope you guys are all having a great day, and I'll see y'all later. Bye bye.